Hello, sports, tabletop sports, and baseball fans. This is Tribe Fan here giving the first full May update of my 2016 Stratomatic replay of the Minnesota Twins season in advanced. And this update will be the 6 games involving 3 with the Houston Astros and 3 with the Minnesota Twins. This is the first full week of May. We'll get started with the first game against the Astros, which pitted Jose Barrios against Dallas Keuchel. And in the bottom half of the second, a 2-out rally by the Astros. Marwin Gonzalez hits one into the Crawford boxes. They'll put the Astros up 1-0. And then back-to-back walks by Luis Valbuena, rest in peace, and Jason Castro, or back-to-back doubles, make it 2-0 Astros. The Twins would get on the board in the top half of the sixth when Eduardo Nunez hits the ball over the wall to make it 2-1 Astros. And then Nunez would get be the catalyst for the 8th inning rally that the Twins had. He leads off with a walk. He steals second. And then 2 batters later scores on a Brian Dozier double to make it a tie game at 2. The Twins had a chance to win this in regulation in the top of the 9th. Will Harris came into the game to relieve Keuchel. Runners at first and third with 2 outs, but John Ryan Murphy flies out, and so we go to extras. And then in the top half of the 12th, Tony Sipp came in. Nunez, a leadoff double. He goes to third on a Danny Santana sacrifice bunt, and then a Brian Dozier single makes it 3-2. Kevin Jepsen comes in to try to save the game, but Evan Gattis greets him with a no doubt about it Paul Bunyan style swing that he usually does, puts it over the wall to tie the game. Carlos Gomez follows with a single. He goes to third on a Marwin Gonzalez single. And then Luis Valbuena hits a deep fly ball to center field. They try to throw him out, but the throw is too late. Astros walk it off to win 4-3 in 12 innings. Sipp gets the W, even though he gave up the run in the top half, but Jepsen gets the loss. Barrios is set, 5 1/3, walked 5 and struck out 7. Keuchel pitched 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 8 and walked 4. All right, in the next game, it was Alex Meyer against Colin McHugh. In the bottom half of the third, the scoring starts for the Astros when Valbuena draws a leadoff walk. He goes to third on a Jason Castro double, and then Jose Altuve hits a deep fly ball to right field, deep enough to score Valbuena 1-0 Astros. The top half of the fourth, the Twins would tie the game. 2-out home run by Miguel Sano, his 9th of the year, ties the game at 1. The Astros would come right back in the bottom half of the fourth. 1-out walk to Tyler White, and then 2 batters later with 2 outs, Carlos Gomez hits the ball deep and gone. A 2-run homer to make it 3-1 Astros. And then the bottom half of the sixth, a leadoff double by Tyler White. He goes to third on a Dozier error on a Carlos Gomez at bat. Valbuena would walk to load the bases, and then Meyer was pulled. Fernando Abad would get Jason Castro to strike out, but Jose Altuve singles home White to make it 4-1, and then the book would be closed on Meyer when George Springer with a 2-run single makes it 6-1. The stats on Meyer in 5 1/3 gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. He walked 7 and struck out 7. Woof. The Twins get their final run in the top of the 8th. Kurt Suzuki with a leadoff home run to make it 6-2. McHugh was pulled after that. Went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, striking out 7 and only walking 1. Your final of the game was 6-2, and the Twins have lost 2 in a row in the series. and it wouldn't get any better. In the final game, the fans were bringing out their brooms, and they got to use them. The final game of the series was Phil Hughes against Mike Fiers. Bottom half of the first, George Springer with a one-out solo home run makes it 1-0. Top half of the third, be pretty much all you'd hear from the Twins on this day. Danny Santana goes to second on a rare two-base error by George Springer, usually very good with the glove. And then Brian Dozier with a two-run homer makes it 2-1. And then a two-out rally by the Twins, Trevor Plouffe with a double, and then Byung-Ho Park with his fourth home run of the year makes it 4-1. And then bottom half of the third, the wheels kind of fall off. Jason Castro leadoff double. He goes to third on a Jose Altuve single. And then Carlos Correa with a single to make it 4-2. And then Colby Rasmus with what I usually call the Earl Weaver special, the 3-run homer, makes it 5-4 Astros. Carlos Gomez would add a solo home run in the sixth inning, making it 6-4, ending the scoring. Hughes went 6 innings, gave up 6 runs on 8 hits, striking out 5. Fiers with a solid performance in 7 innings, giving up 9 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, striking out 10. Ken Giles would pitch the 9th for the save. Now we go to game 29, the only game that the Twins would win in this portion of the recap. Ricky Nolasco against Matt Latos. Tyler Saladino in the bottom half of the third reaches on an Eduardo Nunez error. Adam Eaton singles to put runners on first and third, and then Saladino would score on a wild pitch to make it 1-0 with this happened with 2 outs. In the top half of the fourth, 1-out single by Miguel Sano, and then Trevor Plouffe returning off the DL with his 4th home run of the year. A 2-run blast makes it 2-1 Twins. The White Sox come back in the bottom half of the fourth. Todd Frazier with a solo home run makes it 2-2. And then the top half of the fifth would be sayonara for Latos. Eduardo Escobar and Danny Santana walk to put runners on first and second. And then Escobar scores on Eduardo Nunez single to make it 3-2. That would put runners on first to third. Mauer would walk to load the bases, and that's when Latos was pulled. Scott Carroll entered the game for the White Sox, and Miguel Sano singles home Santana, but Nunez tried to score, and the relay is in time to get Nunez at the plate. Plouffe would ground out to end the inning. The final line on Latos, 4 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 3 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Very ineffective. In the top of the ninth with Matt Albers pitching, Miguel Sano with a 3-run homer makes it 7-2. Nolasco pitched very well enough, in fact, that Paul Molitor decided to give the bullpen the rest of the night off. Nolasco went the distance, giving up 7 hits, 1 run and 5 strikeouts. He didn't walk anybody, and he faced 34 batters. All right, the second game against the White Sox would be Irvin Santana against Chris Sale. And if you thought this one was going to be low scoring, you'd be right. The White Sox get the scoring started in the bottom half of the second. Melky Cabrera leadoff single. He goes to second when Brett Lawrie gets beaned. And then Avisail Garcia singles to load the bases. And then with the infield playing back, the Twins would rather get 2 outs for a run. That's what they got. Deanna Navarro, ground ball to first, the second for 1 out, back to first, double play, but a run scores to make it 1-0. There would be no scoring until the bottom half of the sixth. Jose Abreu, Todd Frazier, and Melky Cabrera all walk to load the bases. And then 2 batters later, Avisail Garcia hits a hot smash to third. Plouffe tried to handle the ball. He throws home, but the throw pulls Suzuki off the base, scoring a run, making it 2-0. And then Deanna Navarro with the single makes it 3-0. In the top half of the ninth, Miguel Sano led off the ninth with a home run, and that was enough for the manager to give Sale the hook. David Robertson then got the next three batters to get the save. Sale went 8 innings, gave up 4 hits. He gave up the solo home run for the 1 run, walked 1, struck out 12. Santana with the loss, he went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned on 5 hits. All right, in the final game of this update, game 31, Tyler Duffy against Jose Quintana. And we'll start things off in the bottom half of the second. Melky Cabrera, a leadoff walk with 1 out. He goes to third, and Avisail Garcia single. And then with 2 outs, Austin Jackson hits a ground ball to Nunez at short. He throws it away, and Cabrera scores to make it 1-0 White Sox. On the top half of the fifth, Oswaldo Garcia walks. Darren Mastriani hits a double to put runners on second and third. And then Juan Centeno, the newly called up catcher, singles home Garcia to make it a 1-1 game. And then 2 batters later, Eduardo Nunez gets plunked to load the bases. And then Jorge Polanco, also recently called up, clears the bases with a 3-run double, makes it 4-1 Twins. And then this is where the White Sox come back. Bottom half of the sixth, Brett Laurie reaches on a fielder's choice. And then Garcia hits one into the gap and then motors all the way to third for a triple, making it 4-2. Duffy would be pulled after that. Then Deanna Navarro hits a dribbler down the third base line. Trevor May runs over to try to grab it, does. However, he throws it wide of first for an error, and that makes it 4-3. The White Sox would tie the game in the bottom half of the seventh. J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins and Jose Abreu walk, put runners on first and second. And then Brett Laurie with the 2-out single off Fernando Abad ties the game at 4. And once again, we go to extras, It's usually not good news for the Twins. Would not be good news here. Michael Tonkin pitching Deanna Navarro with a 1-out single. Austin Jackson follows with a single to put runners on first and third. They brought the infield in and brought Brandon Kintzler in, just called up. Adam Eaton rips a single. Game over, drive home safely. 5-4, the White Sox win. This puts their record at 14-17 on this replay. Dan Jennings pitched the 10th for the win, and Michael Tonkin gets the loss pitching the bottom half of the 10th. All right, the next update will actually be a shorter update. The Twins played a 2-game series against the Orioles and a 3-game series against the Indians, and that will be the next update, the one that's going to be uploaded to YouTube. All right, everybody, have a fun and safe Super Bowl Sunday if you are watching. If you are not, please enjoy whatever games you are playing, and whatever games you are playing, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.